When anyone starts a nutrition program right now, or anything to get fit and healthier, the number one question on both sides of the conversation is always, are you getting enough protein? Or how do I get more protein? The question from that, because we see it all in the industry, like you've now got Mars bars with protein, granola with extra protein, all these things adding extra protein in so you can get more. But the question isn't just, can I get more? The question is, how much should you be aiming for? Now, that said, a bit like calories, a bit like steps, a bit like everything, there is a go-to guide, but it will be different for every single person. So get your calculators ready, unless you're very good with mental maths. The simplest way to view it, and the easiest way that the industry puts it out anywhere in any literature, is if you aim for 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight you have. So if I was to weigh 180 pounds total body weight, then I'm aiming for 180 grams of protein and just give or take 10% on that. That gives you a nice range. So in that case, it would be 180 grams. On any given day, I would be aiming between 172 and 188. And then you just sit within that region. That gives you the good standpoint for pretty much everyone. There are occasions where that then will differ. So if you are someone that is either trying to build a lot of muscle, and that is your specific goal right now, you will want more protein to allow for that. To be able to do that, you would probably aim more towards the realms of anywhere from that 1 gram per pound up to 1.2 to 1.4. 1.2 is pretty much right to aim for. So 1.2 gram per pound of body weight. If you aim for that, you're pretty much setting golden because you're getting more than. The other reason you would aim for that level of is if you are doing such a high deficit diet. So if you are really dieting down, you would want that high level of protein. And there are multiple reasons for it. We talk about it's same in any kind of diet and deficit build. It helps with satiety, so it'll help you feel less hungry. It does fill you up more. There is the thermogenic effect of food, which means you burn more calories physically digesting protein, but that's minimal at best. And the fact that it is so much like gold to the human body, you're not really going to store, unless you are one of the very, very unlucky people in the world, you're not really taking surplus amounts of protein, storing it as body fat. You would find if you're in excess of calories, and protein is part of it, you will save and store it. But if you were to just eat a lot of protein, you would probably struggle to eat higher than you need, but that's the outcome. So if you are really, really dieting, high levels of protein can help do that. But the main reason for it is to maintain your muscle. As we lose weight, our body wants to basically go, I'm in a deficit. I am starving to all intensive purposes, which is why we want to starve it slowly, not very, very quickly. And in that, it will basically get rid of anything that's costing it energy. So you will feel more tired. You will feel more run down because your body wants to use less. It means it will take from fat stores because it's like, right, we've got surplus of calories in the body. Let's use them. We need it. But muscle takes a lot to be able to use. If you're not using it and there's no fuel or protein in it to keep it, your body will ditch it because it will just find a way to be able to go, right, well, if that's going to give us energy and we're going to lose energy by keeping it, we might as well get rid of it. So if you're in a big deficit, high protein will help maintain your muscle. Also, equally, if you are very, very lean and you are either just dieting down in general, or you just are trying to maintain, like you look at these people who are in very, very top, great shape, very lean, six-pack year round, they will have to have a very high nutrient dense protein meal plan, diet plan, because of that fact that, like we just said, they're trying to maintain and keep the muscle. If you are very, very depleted, your body goes, any opportunity to get rid of it, it'll get rid of it. Like if you are wearing a weighted vest and you're going for a run, any opportunity you get to set a weighted vest off as opposed to anything else, you're going to do it. So our body will want to do the same thing. The opposite is then also true for how much protein you need on the other end of the scale. If you are in a position where you're training. So I've been doing a lot more endurance stuff recently with the marathon training and everything else. If you are training for endurance-based work and you need more constant fuel for moving all the time, then you're not just going to excessively add calories all over the place. You will want more carbohydrates, and you don't need protein as much because yes, you're using it, but the breakdown of it isn't going to be as high so long as you're getting enough to sustain. Now, at that basis, you can then aim for like 0.8 grams of protein per 1 pound of body fat and then build it that way. The other side of that as well is if you are starting out, you're either maintaining your weight, you can stay at the lower end, or if you are really overweight, you don't know what your lean body mass is, so what your body weighs without the fat mass. If you weigh a heavy weight, and unfortunately this is the case for quite a lot of people, if you weigh a lot, you would really struggle to get that amount of grams of protein per pound of body fat. So what you do is you would reduce the calculation to bring it down. So then we are at 0.8 as opposed to 1 gram. So it allows the fact that you're trying to hold on to meat lean mass, not all of mass. And then as you were to get leaner, you would then progressively just increase that to make sure that the protein stayed up or pretty much ran where it is as your weight came down, but also to maintain the muscle mass you have living underneath, because we don't build muscle specifically in replacement of the fat. The muscle is already there. We want to be able to lose fat and build the muscle or keep it at the very least. And that's pretty much the be all and end all with protein. In terms of how frequently, like nutrient timing is a top 5 to 10% thing that you really need to focus on. But I also wouldn't recommend just going, if I need to get 180 grams in a day, cool, I've had 50, it's 6 p.m. at night, I'm just going to find something that has 130 grams of protein in it. Your body will not digest it all. You can only digest so much at once. So don't try and get it all in one meal. Try and spread it out as much as you can throughout the day. It allows for what's called protein muscle synthesis to occur more often. And that, so you're aiming for at least 20 grams per meal to allow for that. It then also means that you're in a position that your body is getting a constant flux, because if you were to get paid and someone told you, I'm going to pay you 100,000 a year, awesome. When do I start? And then in month one, they gave you 10 pounds, dollars, whatever it is, equivalent to your currency. And you were then sat there going, well, I've now got all these bills that you told me. Well, yeah, it's coming, but just not now. There's no reliability to it. Our body likes consistency and reliability. So constant feed of protein at all times will allow for it. That said, that is a lot of information based on it, but it gives you a good point to know if you're starting out, you want to be somewhere between 0.8 and 1 gram, or 1.2 if you're trying to really build that top end. But if you're literally just starting out, 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight, depending on your weight and how much you're pushing the whole fat loss deficit. Equally, if you are taking any of the weight loss supplementation that are obviously in the market these days, so the Mounjaros, the GLP-1s, then higher amounts of protein is equal to being in a huge deficit, because without realizing it, you will be in a huge deficit. You get rid of the hunger need. So what you need to do is give your body more nutrients, because if your goal is to come off them, you need healthy habits to be able to maintain that once you're off, and the hunger will come back. But also, even if you plan to come off them or stay on them, when you lose the weight, you want to make sure there's muscle there. So you're not just skinny, you get lean, tone defined. Definition, obviously, you see all over the place. Now, that said, that's all she wrote on protein. I think if I've missed anything, I'll make sure to do a follow-up. Apart from that, if you ever have any questions about protein, nutrition, diets, anything else, fire away, let me know, and then I will make more bits of content like this so you can see more of it.